doing? Oh, you people, stop it. Stop it. Don't stop it. No, I'm kidding. Happy Wednesday. So we're just 5 days into Kevin McCarthy's tenure as Speaker of the House, and he's already become my favorite Kevin. Well, behind Kevin Spacey. And as you know, it's always preferable to be behind Kevin Spacey. Of course, it took 15 ballots to confirm McCarthy, which coincidentally is the same amount it took Biden to become president. Yeah, sue me. But while the House was voting and revoting, McCarthy was proving that revenge, much like the Fruity Pebbles Bill Hemmer feeds me in the morning, is a dish best served cold. What's different this time? Republicans learned something from Trump. They're keeping their promises and fighting like fiends. On Tuesday, they took steps to boost oversight of both the Chinese government and the Biden administration. Granted, it's hard to tell the two apart. First, they approved a new subcommittee designed to probe the weaponization of the federal government. You know, I hate that word, weaponization. It's overused. Just say exactly what you're investigating. Abuses against the American people. Does the government collect info on or otherwise investigating innocent citizens of the U.S.? And how deep was that collusion between the FBI and private sectors to ban speech that the White House disagreed with? House Republicans also called up a plan to address threats from China, like fentanyl, attacks on the power grid, and underspiced bat soup. The GOP is also clawing back billions in IRS funding that would have financed 87,000 new employees to harass freelancers, small businesses, and the orphans who manage my offshore bank accounts. Rest in peace, orphans. If Biden wants to get blood from a stone, he should do a face plant while bike riding again. But all that probably wasn't even the best thing McCarthy did this week. Yes, it's time to...
Isn't it bliss? We're going away. The worst politicians around, and now they can't stay. Send out the clowns. These people are clowns.
You get to live another day, Gene. Yep, this week he booted hacks Ilhan Omar, Adam Schiff, and Eric Swalwell from their House committees. The bright spot for Omar, when she breaks the bad news to her husband and her brother, she'll only have to make one phone call. Never gets old. Yeah. Yes. As for Swalwell, McCarthy promised to come after him, and unlike the flatulent flunky, it wasn't just hot air. He says, quote, Swalwell can't get a security clearance in the private sector. I'm not going to give him a government security clearance. But in Swalwell's defense, no one would hire him in the private sector. Pro tip, Eric, if a beautiful woman is interested in you, she's either a spy, a hooker, or has lost her sense of smell. Finally, it's true, there's this hapless harlequin, Adam Schiff, who's manufactured more lies than the cosmetic industry. McCarthy vows we will not allow him to be on the Intelligence Committee either. I would also add anything else that has the word intelligence in the title. We asked Adam Schiff to comment.
I may no longer be chairman, but I can still feel like one with my new strap-on chairman's high-back chair. Whether walking the dog, pretty good, getting the mail, bills, or just having fun. Impeached.
Nicely done. Good. Right, I didn't see that. So McCarthy said he'd retaliate for the removal of Republicans from their assignments in the last Congress, and he did. Up next, investigating the Biden family for their alleged crimes, which include authentic collusion and countless shady foreign dealings. The only one who doesn't think the big guy is Biden is Joe Biden, because he stopped thinking in 1992. So does this kind of tit for tat slow down Congress? The answer is, I hope so. Keep them busy. Keep them busy fighting each other. It keeps them out of our lives. While they're slapping the crap out of each other, we get to continue to do fun things, like cooking on gas stoves and drinking shark fin shakes through a plastic straw. But also, every time Congress agrees on something, we get more war and more debt. And if the weasels know they're always just a midterm away from getting busted, maybe they'll do better. And that's what the winning will get you. You get to stick it to the other side, investigate, prosecute. The Dems did it last time, but now it's their turn in the barrel. And like I always say, payback's a joy behar. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He played a gigolo, and I paid a gigolo. Actor and comedian Rob Schneider. He might look like $1 million, but he's just a single bill. America's Newsroom co-anchor, Bill Hemmer. She's like a nickel, shiny, small, and often found hiding under a couch cushion. Fox News contributor Kat Tibb. And finally, he has trouble seeing eye to eye with people and giraffes. My massive sidekick in the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Tyrus. How are you, Rob?
I'm good. Good to be back. It was nice to hear Joe Rogan singing your praises.
Yes, well, you know, I'll take anything I can get at this point. You know what I mean? I'm a very lonely man, Rob. What do you make of this stuff so far? The Omar, the shifts, the Swalwell's going. What's your takeaway?
Well, I think that I think McCarthy's right. I don't think he can get a clearance. I mean, I don't even think he can get like a global entry.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry, Swalwell, we got to take you and Fang Bang to go in the regular line. Where they
How do you not know?
Where they X-ray your balls. Get in there. Get in there.
How did he not know that she was a spy? Wasn't a spy? Who's named Fang Fang and not a spy?
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that. He doesn't have an answer for that. There is no answer for that.
Yes.
There is.
Yes.
You know.
But it seems like they're fighting. The Republicans are fighting. That's good.
It is. No, I think we're in an interesting place now where, we actually have an opposition who can do something, which is good. It's not by a lot, but it's enough. And I'll take enough right now. Any opposition to authoritarianism, I don't care which side you're on, let's go for it.
Exactly. There's always, you need to have two sides, Bill. And you have two sides. One that's fun and one that's flirty. I don't even know where I am. It's kind of funny seeing Omar getting kicked off foreign affairs while redefining family affairs.
Yeah, it's interesting. And Swalwell got kicked off. But you know what happened today?
What?
An extraordinary thing happened in Washington, D.C. They had 365 members of the House vote for something together that included 146 Democrats.
Was that for China?
That was for the China Committee that McCarthy says should live forever.
Yeah.
Right? The way the competition. Even Swalwell voted for it. He knows something about China.
Exactly.
Thanks, man.
Sure.
Now, on the IRS.
Maybe if he votes for it, he'll see Fang Fang.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know why America decided to not manufacture anything anymore.
Yeah.
So we're just completely reliant on China. I mean, can't we make like a Minnie Mouse doll here in America? Does it have to be made, by some lead-poisoned slave in Guangdong, China?
It's true.
Let's make something.
All the toy drum sets are made in China. It's like we can't do.
How do you know that?
I do a lot of deep dives on drums. In case the authorities stop by, you have an unusual search history, Gutfeld. A lot of toys.
Makes a lot of donations to orphanages.
Hammer, what's going to happen with this China committee?
Well, we'll see. I mean, the House only has, one third of government. But on the IRS thing, I was thinking, what do you do with 87,000 IRS? Why do you need 87,000 IRS agents? What are they going to do all day?
Yeah.
How are they going to spend their time?
You could-
And then I was thinking, Rob, you got 2 million migrants a year now, and so
Yeah, you could send them.
IRS is going to have some fresh targets.
Send them to know you could send the 87,000 to the border, you know, and then try auditing, and see if they want to come in, these migrants, if you start auditing them.
That's
See what happens. 87,000.
Pirates. What are your thoughts on the events?
Well, first of all, to answer Bill's question, what are they going to do? With us. That's what they're going to do. They're going to come after us. So I'm glad it's not going to happen. But we get excited, but we know what's going to happen. It's going to get vetoed, or as he likes to say, huh? So I'm still shocked that he thought the Salvation Army was the Secret Service. I can't let that go.
You're in a 24-hour disbelief circle.
I don't understand how that is not an emergency meeting. Where are the generals? Like, I'll say it again. He thought the Salvation Army guy was the Secret Service.
Yes.
And everybody's okay with this?
We're numb to it now.
Yeah,
I mean, but it's beyond the pale. Like, you know, I think it was great. Swalwell's best. Greg, sometimes love blinds you. We've all been there. You know, you're always the last guy to know that she slept with everybody else in the football team.
Yes.
You know, until the one guy she didn't tells him. No, I was usually the guy that had to break it down to him. Like, hey, man, you got a second?
Come on over here.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, well, it's just going to hurt. But I thought his line was great. It was like, they said I didn't do anything wrong. What's the point? You were compromised just off GP. You should be like, you know what? I'm not fit because I was compromised.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not about that. It's about the money. You know, and the agents, the whole thing about the IRS agents had nothing to do with the IRS. It was about funding to slide their money for the electronic car stuff. So that's what that was about.
Interesting. Last word to you, Kat. Are you excited? Do you think it's ever going to happen in your lifetime that the IRS will be abolished?
No, that's the thing. It's nice to say it, and it's good for them to say that this is something they'd like to see happen. But they also know there's no situation in when this would actually happen. Like you said, Biden would veto it, and it wouldn't even get that far because of the Democrats in the Senate. So it's kind of like when a man says to you, like, I would go to the ends of the earth for you. It's nice to hear, but no one's going to show up and ask you to do that. Like, this isn't the Lord of the Rings. You could just take the trash out.
Yes.
We have to be clever.
I'd like to see, work on things that could potentially happen. It is tough when it's split, which isn't the worst thing, but anybody who wouldn't vote for that, then there's something serious.
That's true, though. It's like, we just want you to take out the trash, not like solve world hunger, although that would be nice.
I would like to see the IRS abolished, but if there was all Republicans in charge, I feel like they wouldn't have the balls to actually propose something like that.
Unless they put at the end of everything they want done an ice cream party. So he's not going to veto an ice cream party.
That is true. Ice cream party.
I want to know.
Abolish the IRS and ice cream for everyone.
I want to know about the guns for the IRS. I mean,
Yeah, where do those go?
the IRS needs guns as much as like strippers need PhDs.
Yes.
It's unnecessary.
Although,
How dare you? That's the reason why they strip is to get that PhD.
oh, you make me
right.
sick, Mr. Schneider. I stand
I have
corrected.
funded several geniuses.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.